I used to get so mad at my grandmother when she used to say I talk too much. But no, she was right, because I was always constantly telling people my next move. Oh, I found it. I was always telling people my next move, always telling people what I was going to do, and I never actually applied myself and actually did it. But I was listening to a video, and I wanted to call this "Silence is a Source of Empowerment." And the reason I decided to name it the title, I wanted to give this video the title, is because I made a decision in my life that changed me for the better. And that decision was walking away from an individual that was not in alignment with me. Now, I will not say any names. I will not say anything, that's going to, disclose any type of personal information. But I will put out there and say that I was silent about the situation, because I've never done that. Because I've always been the person to have the conversation, tell people how I feel, or tell them how I think that they're crossing me and things of that nature. And, I never realized that, actually taking into consideration, when you just don't say anything, that's when you become the most powerful. And the reason you become the most powerful is because your silence does speak. It says a lot about you. It says a lot about who you are, rather than actually engaging in any type of dispute, any type of, anything that's going to lead into either that's going to lead you down. I want to say mentally, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my words together, but is going to lead you in any type of distress, or like put you in any type of distress, And I really do think back when my grandmother used to say I talk too much, because she used to always tell me, like, why don't you be silent about the things that you do rather than just telling people everything that you do? One thing I learned is that you guys, I see a lot of people commenting on my videos, and thank you so much. But I'm going to tell you guys this right now. The power in what you guys hear me say and you guys see is not something that I used to do. Like, I didn't used to actually practice this. I used to tell people this is what I'm going to do, or this is what I'm going to the next steps I'm going to take in my life. And I actually gave myself a boost of dopamine in my brain, but I never really actually put it out, like actually put it to the test. I never actually went out there and did it. So now when I do make these videos, everything that I talk to you guys about is something that I do on an everyday basis. Now, when I talk about God, and when I talk about, the divine and my spirituality, I'm not talking about that because I'm trying to gain like some type of audience, or try to be a part of a community and try to make myself look like I'm better than anyone else, or look like, hey, look, pay attention to me, I'm over here. No, I do this because I actually do love putting these videos out and sharing the things that I do on an everyday as of an everyday ritual, because this is who I am. This is who I am becoming. The old Alizé was the type of person that never really took accountability. She procrastinated. The old Alizé wasn't actually working on herself behind the scenes. She was always that type of person that knew what to say, but didn't actually take her own advice. But see, that's not who I am anymore. The new improved Alizé is the person who does not react, but rather wait to respond when a response needs to be given. The new improved Alizé actually does have healthy boundaries. The new improved Alizé knows her worth. And the new improved Alizé does not chase, but she rather attracts. It is what she wants or desires. But see, she attracts who she is because that's who she's becoming. Every single day when I pray in the morning, when I do my meditations, when I take out time to actually get to give back to myself and to love myself, which means me putting my health first, putting my overall physical health, because that is very important to me, my mental health and my spiritual health, and me becoming more aligned with who I am versus who I was. See, the reason the old Alizé, and no shame to the old Alizé, but that's the old story of who I was. The person that liked to talk a lot, but never really actually put her words to action. But that's not who I am. Everything that I tell you and that I say is everything that I do every day. Okay? And that rhymes. I actually like that. Hey. But anyway, and this is me actually putting this out here and saying, that you do not need to tell everybody everything that you are doing. They don't need to know every time they don't need to know what you're doing. They don't need to know the next move you're going to make. They don't need to know if you're going to open up that business. They don't need to know anything. Do not spread your jewels among swine. Because when you are in silence and when you move in silence, that shows in true empowerment. That shows self-worth. That shows that you know who you are and you know what you deserve. And you stand in that. So continue to stand in your power. And remember that not everything deserves a reaction, just like not everything deserves a response, unless a response needs to be given. Silence is a source of empowerment. And I thank my grandmother, rest in peace, for telling me and giving me and actually allowing me to see that when I start to talk a lot, when I used to talk a lot and say this and say that and overshare, I was oversharing and I wasn't actually putting myself actually doing the things that I said that I was doing. And not even just that. A lot of people didn't believe in me and they didn't want to see me. They didn't want to see me actually go out there and achieve the things that I said I was going to achieve. No. Now I make the decisions that I make silent decisions and choices, and I talk with God. And that is a conversation between him and I that we have. And we have that conversation and we have it in private. And as for what I said when I said that I was deciding to stay silent and going back into the reactions, my ex-girlfriend that I had dated years ago, when we dated, she did hurt me. She did do certain things to me, but I take accountability for that because I didn't show her that I had health. I didn't have boundaries and I didn't love myself. And that was who I used to be. But when we decided to give things a chance again, I saw things that I noticed that didn't change. And when I saw those things instantly in my mind, I made the decision that, she did give me a reaction, like she did get a reaction out of me, one last reaction, because I was upset. I didn't yell at her, but I was so upset to the point where all I felt was emptiness. And then I had a decision of whether or not I was going to stay in that situation and allow myself to be misused and constantly mentally abused and manipulated and lied to, or was I going to actually say, you know what, if I truly love myself, then it's okay to walk away. So I decided to walk away. I decided to say, you know what, I'm walking away. I didn't tell her I was walking away. But when she sent me a message and she explained to me how, it was just nothing but gaslighting and it was nothing but a bunch of BS. And at that point, I stopped responding. And then she got upset and said, so you're not going to respond? Don't ever contact me again. And I never did. I didn't do it because I was trying to show that I didn't care. I did care. But at the same time, I also love and care for myself deeply. So I had a choice to make. Do not accept less than what you deserve. And we'll talk about that in the next video. Bye.